people that were in this company, you know, way before any of us ever were. I just was blown away that he took it upon himself to create tools and systems where there were none. And now people are duplicating that, including the founders of our company who I've watched them verbally tell him how great he is. So even they are thrilled to have him represent us. So everybody, let's give the best welcome and rousing applause for my man, Bob Newman.
Yeah! Woo!
Give credit on a huge
Woo!
Scott guarantees that I'll never get done in an hour. So I set my own timer so I can beat the bet with him.
Bring it.
It's okay.
So I'm not going to go through a big background of who I am. I want to help you guys with how to build this business. Who wants to learn how to build a business?
Yes.
Most people will come to these events and, you know, most people that come to events like this are the ones that want to build. Right? We can talk all day long. What's up? I think you're seeing it. I know you're coming. You know, most people already understand how the PAM account works, right? I mean, how many people are here more than 6 weeks have had a PAM account? Raise your hand. Right? So your belief level is always through the roof, or it should be, right? Every single week you're getting paid, right? And of all those hands up for 6 weeks or more, how many of you have gotten a paycheck every single Friday?
Yes.
That's what made me say we're going to build the business. I wasn't going to build the business. I was burned out. Now, of all those same hands or anybody in the room, how many have been in network marketing in the past? And most people are here, right?
Yes.
10 years full time, I just got burned out. I wasn't lucky like you guys or like you to stay at the same company for a super long time. I was a rookie, I was a novice, I was following other people, right? And so something would start to change, I would, instead of just holding steady and being the leader and holding true, I would follow somebody else, right? And you know, a lot of times people say, oh, you've been in all these things, you've been in a million different companies. If that's you too, you have to look at that as a positive. It's like the growth of what you go through every time you meet new leaders and see new systems and see how people do things. At the end of the day, it's almost all the exact same. So once you grasp a simple, duplicatable system that everyone can do, then you can do it over and over and over again. Now, people say, well, if that's true, why did you stop for 2 years? Or why did you, I did try to start my own network marketing company. Boy, was that hard. And the hardest part about it was heart-wrenching because we had almost 2,000 people that joined. We just didn't have the deep pockets. We didn't have the margins. We really couldn't put it together to make money. We built a great culture, and literally people would call me and get on Zoom and they're crying when we were closing the doors. But we did the right thing. We did everything we could, but at the end of the day, I was so burned out on me making money and no one else making any money, right? Some of you might be able to relate to that. You join a company, like, look, you can tell me you have this new fancy magic pen, and we'd go sell and make some money, right? If there's a comp plan to it, we'll figure it out. Why? Because it's all based on a system and a story. You tell a story based on this magical pen, you plug it into a system, you're going to make money.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to make money? Maybe the top 3%.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Not everybody. So I got burned out dragging people, and they would follow and be so loyal, and my good friends, and they would spend $1,000 on a product pack, and they would come to an event and fly and spend another $1,500 and make no money. In 6 months, they're gone. So when I saw Novatech, literally the girl that introduced me to her, Carla Amishon is her name. Some of you might know her. Their group is Team Freedom, and they're doing amazing too. But she almost lost me. All she was talking about was building network marketing, and I was done with it. Like I was burned out with it. And then literally, I gotta tell you, in January, I wrote down all my goals, done it in about 3 years because of the pandemic. And by the way, if you don't do this, start doing it in January every year. Sit down with your spouse, look at what the year's gonna, what do you want this year? Write your goals down. Really, you can manifest that. And this year's a perfect example in our life. My very first goal was to accelerate retirement. Like that was the words written on the piece of paper, okay? 51 years old, well, I was 50 at the time, 11 days later I was gonna be 51. Started manifesting. I've always been an entrepreneur, I've always made money, I've always been able to take care of my family and all those things, even through the woes and the ups and downs, but I never put any money away, like zero money, right? So I used to get so mad when people would say, yeah, I don't have any money either. But really when you know behind the scenes I got 60,000 in a savings account, 100,000 in an IRA. When I said I had no money, like I had no money, like zero money. Right? I'd get my paycheck or make a commission, whatever, and that commission would basically be gone. It would pay every bill, and that's what I did forever. So I said this year, I'm going to accelerate my retirement. I don't know how, but at 51, I'm not going to be working until I'm 70. It ain't happening. And literally, you guys, after prayer, manifestation, whatever you want to call it, 8 days later, Carla called me. Well, she's just pitching me network marketing. You can do, you're so good at teams and systems and all this stuff. I said, Carla, I don't really want to do this again. Like, I'll look at it, send me, but you know, I'm not getting out of Zoom. I'm not doing any of that stuff. She said to me, if nothing else, just look at it to accelerate your retirement. That's literally what she said to me. I wrote those words were already written on a piece of paper. I went, all right, I think that's probably a sign. And I got on this Zoom with Heather Belanger, who now has become like a sister to me. And here I met this girl that never did anything in network marketing. I call her a chronic joiner. You know those people? They join, and never do anything, right? That was her. And she found Novatech. Her story, most of you probably know, blew me away. And I freaking did not sleep that night because all I did was play with that calculator. And then the next day I ruined Scott's sleep night. Look at this calculator. And he never heard of Novatech before, and I said, okay. I said, listen man, let's do some research. We saw what it did. We literally saw what it was doing. It worked for us, we said, and we literally looked at each other, which hopefully I'll get some of this point across today to you all. We looked at each other and said, sincerely, we're being selfish if we don't tell all the people that have followed us all these years. Like, we call them for every other deal, but now we found the real magic and we didn't call them, right? Like, I mean, literally, we're like, man, if these guys find out and we're doing killer and we never told them, then they're going to be more mad at us than if they lost money in the last thing. So we started telling people, and some of you know this story, it started with 6 people, and in 1 week it was 100. And that's organically, not somebody that came from another company and brought 50. It just grew like that organically over and over and over. And I said, we got to build this. Today there's almost 7,000 people in 9 months.
Wow.
Like,
amazing.
I never even got a PAM account for my upline.
God, so
Not
good.
$1. And I encourage you all, don't worry about spillover. Don't even think about it as a binary. Don't be like, well, when's my upline going to give me some spillover? Let me explain this to you. You would rather it be enrollment line than spillover. Now, I'm not going to lie. Like, the rank advancement bonuses are pretty good, right? And I'm not going to spend a tremendous amount of time on the comp plan part. I'm going to go through it real quick,
There's the
only
man,
because I'm
Scott.
limited on time and I want to give you guys the goods. Wouldn't you rather get the
Dr.
goods
Glenn.
than go through the comp plan like you've seen on every Zoom?
That's the plan.
No?
Yeah.
Is anyone awake?
Yeah! Woo!
Some energy. If I'm going to give you some, you're going to need some, right? Deal?
Yeah!
Huh?
Yeah!
Well, listen, I don't know how to use a Mac. so
Wait.
figure
There
it
we go. Love you guys. I'll send you the video. You'll see, yeah.
Don't let them eat into your
I'll
time.
never forget the first person that sent me the article. How many of you have gotten an article sent to you? Yeah, come on, don't be shy. Raise your hand. Right? It's a scam. Why are you doing that? Let me give you 2 reasons. First of all that stuff in those articles can be combated. All right? And we did a great Zoom for that, so just reach out to somebody, they'll be able to get you that Zoom. Hugh Benjamin helped me do that. He used to do reputation management for a lot of companies. So he really understands how, what these guys do, right? There's 2 things YouTubers and bloggers do. This is all that should make you go, okay, I understand now. A blogger, the first thing they're going to do is do search engine optimization, and they're going to use the titles as Novatech a scam. It's not just Novatech. Is so-and-so a scam, right? It's a technique. Because if somebody new is looking for something, don't you think they're going to type that in? It's the most common thing they're going to type in. It's at the top of the search engine. They click on it, and it's this big old long article, right? And first it's like edification for a minute. And then they get in and start stabbing, right? And they go through all this stuff. And by the way, none of it is even accurate on any of these articles. And at the very bottom, it'll say, but if you want a real deal, click here. Deal, right? It's trying to get you in. That's perfect. The second thing is, a lot of people don't know this. I'm surprised a lot of people don't know this. YouTubers make a tremendous amount of money on paid ads with how many views their videos get. So it's not just Novatech. Anytime a company goes into momentum, then they start putting negative articles out, negative videos out, because it'll get more views. The more views they have on YouTube, the more money they make. Right? Guess what? How many of you know that negative news seems to be more attractive than positive? I don't know why,
The more money they
but
make.
it just is, right? You want to find negative? Go look for it, you're going to find it. I don't care what company it is, I don't care if it's direct sales, it doesn't matter, right? So at the end of the day, you guys, those articles are not right, they're inaccurate. Go look at the Zoom that we did, and you'll understand a lot better. You'll feel a lot more confident of who Eddie and Cynthia are and the whole 9 yards. Okay? All right, so let's go through this. First I can show you my family. These are my 2 daughters, 20 and 17. That's the one that just got nominated for homecoming last night, so it was pretty cool. But that's my why. If you don't have a why, you better get one. It's pretty strong. It'll keep you in the game for sure, right? So, all right. So there's 7 ways to get paid. I'm going to zip through these pretty fast. If you have questions after whatever, or if you're staying tonight and want to know some in-depth stuff about structure, I'm not going to go through a lot of structure. We don't have time for that today. But we are going to go through building and the simplistic ease of building. So it's not like you're pushing a rope, or so you're not getting all frustrated on you've told 100 people what to do and nobody's doing anything. How many would like everybody in your group to do something? Right? Right? And the problem is people go, man, I sponsored these people and they're not doing anything. I'm going to help you overcome that so that 90% of the people that want to build in your group will actually build, right? And that's the key to it. So a lot of people understand direct referral bonus, but just understand, here's a really cool thing about direct referral bonus. I didn't refer anybody this week. Here's a note if you are taking notes. You should always stay in what I call phase 1, which is always prospecting. No matter how big you get, no matter how great you get, no matter how big your group is, you should always stay prospecting. Meet new people, always. Because when you stop, the rest of the group will stop. And your people will do what you do. It's just a kind of a universal energy thing, right? You don't show up on the Zoom, they won't show up. But direct referral bonus, it builds as your members build. So when they started, I would say the common one is a bronze package. Every time they go to silver, to gold, to platinum, whatever, you're getting paid again. And that's really cool. Like this week, my check was like almost $900 on direct referral bonus. I didn't sponsor anybody this week. And it was $900. So that's pretty cool, right? So that's just bringing people in. Now, everything in these first few ways, a lot of people miss this. I don't know why, but you're here now and you're paying attention, so you'll get it now today, right? You're going to get this?
Yeah. Yes.
Direct referral, indirect referral, check, match, and residual. Those 4 parts, well, fast track
Amen.
too, but that's like an extra. But those 4 all have to do with people you've enrolled first. So you enroll a few people, and then they enroll. Not the spillover like a binary component. That's good, but that's for rank advancing and the pool share. And I'll share that a little bit. But this is all from people you start. Indirect referral, I'll come back to that. Indirect referral bonus is anybody they refer. So I still have people ask me, so, you know, the person that enrolled me put like 5 people, that's my indirect, right? No, that's not your indirect. Indirect is from people that you personally enrolled when they enroll people. That's indirect. And guess what? Every time they enroll, every time they upgrade, you're getting paid. Through 7 levels. Now there was a lot of hands when I said, who's been in network marketing, right? Okay. 9 times out of 10, in most of these companies, you have to rank advance to open up the levels. Okay? You don't have to do that here. Like literally. You can sponsor Glenn and I and sit back and drink coffee every day. No, but if you literally enrolled somebody that built a team of 5,000 people and say 2, 3, 4,000 were in your 7 levels, you're going to earn an indirect referral bonus every single time somebody enrolls or upgrades their account. And all you did was maintained at least $99 in your PAM account. I think most people want more than $99 in their PAM account. That's the starting point.
Absolutely.
And you've enrolled at least one person. It's not a qualification, but you have to have somebody enrolled to earn these, right? It's enrolled.
I should have brought my stand.
But one person, and you earn all this if they went and built a big team. That's a big difference from typical network marketing, right? Now, check match. This is the best part.
Amen.
You have to understand why. When you start to experience what the check match is, it's almost like you can't really believe it. And my wife sometimes wakes me up at 4:30 in the morning and she sees what the percentage was. I'm like, please don't wake me up. It's 4:30 in the morning, right? She always wakes up about that time anyway, and that's when she compounds. So we never have trouble compounding because there's no one online for you. You do the same thing. So, but my wife knows
That's
that
why
the
it's busy,
percentage is bigger.
because they're up doing
It's
it.
going to be a lot bigger. Right? She's all excited. I'm like, you can tell me tomorrow. But anyway, check match, here's a couple of things you got to know about it. The volume never flushes away, first off. It's all based on the trading bonuses everyone earns, not commissions. In typical network marketing, it's based off of team commissions that you say I went out and I helped Jerry go build a group. He has to build a team and earn team commissions in order for me to check that.
If it's there, rather.
Well, how cool is it that your people don't have to build any team for you to earn a check match? If you enroll one person today, you're getting a check match on Saturday off of that one person. And believe me, that check grows, and that's 9 levels deep. That could literally be
Dive into
tens
you,
of thousands
you'll
of
get a
people
check
in
match
9
every
levels.
Saturday.
I know guys in
And it just
certain
gets
network
bigger
marketing
and
companies,
bigger.
their comp plan maxes at 7 levels that make $1 million a year, right? And it maxes at 7. This is 9 levels based off of the check match. The volume doesn't flush. It only grows every week by 2 to 4%. Now, the only factor in is your check match going to grow that specific week is whatever percentage it is. But who cares? Don't focus on that. Just focus on helping people. And I'll go through that in my building so we get done with this complex. Residual is based off of the $25 service fee, right? Anybody under VIP, you're getting, when they pay the $25, so you don't get this every week. Well, you do get it every week, but it's not on every person every week because we only pay it once a month, right? So whoever fell into it in that first week, that's when you would get it on that. But that's growing like crazy. Like, you'd be surprised how fast this can grow as well. Now, rank achievement's the only thing that it has qualifications. So if you're taking notes, even if you don't quite understand what these notes are or what it exactly means, we can go over it on Zooms. You can hang out tonight and ask questions, but here's what you need to know. The first 3, well, wait, let me back up. There's 3 things typically, and then when you get to a little higher ranks, there's 4 things that you have to do in order to be able to rank advance. Okay? People don't quite understand this on the Zooms, and the Zooms aren't really a training ground to go over the comp plan, right? So the first thing is the amount of money you have in your trading account. And that's lifetime, by the way. So let's say you hit a rank, right? You for example, Platinum, you need 500 in your account. Silver, you need 25. Gold, you need 25. Junior executive and executive, you need 2,500 in your account. So let's say you had 2,500 in your account. You hit junior executive, right? And you need $1,000. Something happens in your life, you have a blowout in your tires, whatever, your transmission goes, whatever. You pull out 1,200. When you go replace the 1,200, it's like you've added another 1,200 because your trading account balance is lifetime. A lot of people don't understand that, so you can use your PAM account. People ask me all the time, because my story is, I've used my PAM account and paid off about $24,000 in debt in 9 months by growing my PAM account and pulling some out and paying the debt off. Growing it, pulling money out, paying the debt off. Growing it, pulling it out, paying some debt off. Now, let's say when I pulled out, when I did it, I think it was at like 11,000, I pulled out another 5,000. That would bring me down to 6,000, right? Well, the computer knows I still have 11 for the rank advancing part, which is like so generous of them to do that. Like, that's like unheard of. So it allows you to use the PAM account. Gang, use the PAM account if you have debt. Don't just sit there to stare at the computer screen and tell your buddies, you got 200 grand in your account. Right? Now, if you got all your debts paid off and you're good and you're just trying to accelerate your retirement, that's another story. Everybody's got a different story, right? But that's how I've been using it, is to pay debts off. And our plan is to be 100% debt free by the end of the first quarter, and then I'll grow it to $1 million like Scott's already on that plan, right? And that's the plan, right? To do it that way. Now, here's the things you need to know. So the first thing is how much you have in your PAM account. And by the way, in the Facebook group, in your back office, under documents, there is a compensation plan that shows you exactly what to do. How many want to build a massive group and make lots of money and help lots of people, right? You have to be the leader. It doesn't mean you have to be the presenter. It doesn't mean that you have to know all the answers, but you have to be the leader. Like don't ask your upline, what is the comp? Go get the comp plan and read it and study it. Right? I got that lecture from Francisco about 6 weeks in. He said, why do you study the comp plan instead of asking me every time? But I tell you, this is the first time ever where I didn't really study the plan. It's all about activity. Right? Do this and it'll grow. And I didn't want to get bogged down in the weeds with the details of the comp plan. But a lot of people, you need to know this just so you know it. Like when you're prospecting, don't go through this stuff in detail with people. Like it's going to be way too overwhelming for people if you go in this massive detail, all right? So you need your own personal account. So what that means is, let me go back to this story. So if you needed 25, and let's say your goal for the next one, senior executive is $5,000. 5. So senior executive, you need 5,000 in your account. So let's say you had $3,000 and you needed 1,500, you pulled it out, and you did whatever you had to do, and then you're like, okay, I got to get that 1,500 back in. The system is now going to know you have 4,500, even though you actually only have 3,000. Right? Everybody get that? So it's not like you have to have 10,000, 25,000, 50. When I learned that, I was like, oh my God, this is more generosity. Like, I couldn't believe it. Like, I can't believe the components in this comp plan and that the owners do it this way. The reason they can do it is because everything is profit-based. You get that, right? It's not based on other people's money. It's not based on the sale of products. It's based on the profits. And that is so genius, though. Okay, so the amount of money you need in your account is number one. Number two is the first 3 ranks, platinum, junior exec, and exec. You can go to those 3 ranks with 2 legs. The only time I ever even talk about 2 legs to get to these ranks is when I have somebody that's like brand new, like that doesn't have a clue. Because senior executive, executive, they'll make some money, right? They'll start seeing the growth growing, okay? Now you need, if you're taking notes, it's a 60-40 split. That means that you can only count 60% of the rank volume amount, right, So let's say you needed 25,000. 60% of that is 15 grand. You'll get paid if there's 30 grand in that leg. You'll still get paid on the 30 grand, but to rank advance, you can only count 15,000 of the 25 from one leg. Same with when you get to 50,000. You can only count 30,000 from one leg. And then the other can come from a second leg or a second and third leg, or sometimes people forget to move the holding tank and they got a fourth leg, whatever. By the way, if you forgot to move somebody and you got 4 or 5, it's not the end of the world, okay? Don't freak out. A lot of people freak out on that. Oh my God, it's over now. It's okay. Right? In fact, for you, it's okay because now you got 5 legs, but you just weren't able to help, the body. Regardless. Now, when you get here, all the way to 2-star, you have to have 3 legs. And the max you can count from one leg is 45%. Let me tell you something. I've never, in 12 years of building, these first 9 months in our business, there's over 800 rank advancements. Yeah, that's all you guys. Really. And now I am counting somebody that went platinum, junior tech, I'm counting those as all rank. Okay. So this is why I say, and Francisco drilled this into my head before, and Scott and I talked about it because we came from a unilevel plan back in 2010. I was a real rookie. I hadn't broke through. I hadn't even made my first 6-figure year. None of that yet. And you could go to the top of that comp plan with 2 legs, but if you really wanted to go to the very tip top, then you had to have 3 legs. Well, here's what happened. I put all my contacts that I knew personally in my 2 legs, and I could never get the 3rd leg going because now you've got a cold market prospect to get your 3rd leg, and it's almost impossible. How many of you like talking to the guy at the gas pump and go, wow, that's a nice car, man. What do you do for a living? Come on, man, let's be real. Who wants to do that, right? Network marketing, affiliate marketing, relationship marketing. Guys, it's through your warm market. It's not through fancy funnel systems. It's not through online. It's not. You might meet people online and have some conversations. It's your warm market. People I know, Bob, no one's going to follow me anymore. I've been in 30 things. Me too. Right? But there's all kinds of things you can say. I don't want to get off on track on that. So my point is, literally, anytime I enroll anybody brand new, pretty much, I started with 3 legs immediately. I don't let them move the 3rd leg.
That's right.
Even
The
the
3rd
new
leg.
people. In the beginning, I was like,
Two
brand
legs.
new, they'll be cool at executive. I'm seeing so many rank advancements, it's just happening. Right? It's the first time in my career in any type of business where every single person can do it. Why is that? What do you think is the number 1 contributor to people actually being successful? Anybody? Belief.
Belief.
Is the number 1 contributor, period, end of story. If you have no belief, you're not going to be able to talk to people. Or if you do, you're forcing yourself to talk to them because you're in a business now and you have to talk to them. How about this? You don't have to talk to anybody to make money in Novatech. And that's what made me excited because I don't have to push people to go talk to people because they're making money every Friday. Let their belief level get where it is. Before you know it, their belief level is sky high. They will call you. Or touch base with them and go, hey, it's Friday. You dancing again? Dancing. This is amazing. Right? Because they're excited. They're getting it every single week. And you can always throw in there. Let me know if you need to talk to anybody. Don't say, hey, are you going to talk to somebody? Hey, we got to get you going. No, that's you doing it for them. You want them, you want your teammates to be their idea that they decide to open their mouth to tell people. And that's what's magically been happening here. Because of stay in touch with them. So at the 3 levels, in 3 legs, you're never going to have to worry about balance. And that's the most important thing. But I will tell you this, it's the only company I've ever been in where rank really doesn't matter. That really doesn't. So don't get discouraged if you're not rank advancing. Who cares? You still make indirect referral bonuses, check matches, residual. You make it all. You just don't make the one-time rank advancement bonuses. Now, they are nice, it is mo money, right? That's what I like to call it, it's just mo money, right? You get into the profit sharing pools, but honestly, gang, the profit sharing pools are not thousands of dollars. Why is that? Because so many people are rank advancing, right? Which is cool. I mean, it is an extra
Take it
check,
till it
and
dies.
you get an extra $600 a quarter, or whatever. That, that money is compounding. You just what you saw was $700 in a calculator. By the way, here's a tip: when your group's growing, how many in here have 4 or 5 people or more in your group? Okay, so watch. Now you're not going to sleep for 3 days, but I got to do this to you. Okay, so you're all putting what your goal is in the calculator, right? You've all played with the calculator that way. Start putting your team volume in the calculator. Watch what happens there. You will